Hi, in this video, I'm going to use geometry nodes to change the radius of an existing cylinder according to its height. For example, at the bottom, I want to have the minimum radius, and as we move up along the cylinder, its radius should increase. Alright, the first thing that I'll do is add a cylinder. So this is the default cylinder. Let's reduce its radius. At the moment, it is 1 meter. I'll make it 0.2. Also remove the caps of the cylinder. Now I'll switch to the edit mode and I'll add some loop cuts. Alright, I think this will do. Next, I will switch back to the object mode and click on new to open a geometry nodes graph. Let's add set position node between input and output. Then I'll add the position node and connect it to separate XYZ node. I'll pull out the Z output and connect it to map range. Over here, we will use -1 to 1 range for from parameters and 0.1 to 3 range for to parameters. This basically means if we change the value from -1 to 1, the output will change from 0.1 to 3. And the reason I have picked -1 and 1 in the from parameters is because the bottom of our cylinder is at -1 in z coordinate and the top of the cylinder is at 1. Now I will add two multiply nodes and connect x and y outputs to these multiply nodes. Also connect the map range output to both of these nodes. So basically I'm trying to scale my x and y outputs based on the height of the cylinder. And then we can pass the output of these multiplication nodes to combine xyz. Let me add a label. Let's call it scaled x. And similarly, we can add label to this node as well. Let's call it scaled y. Now connect the output of combine xyz to set position. There you go. So like I said before, this is what we wanted to achieve. A smaller radius at the bottom and it will gradually increase as we move up along the cylinder. You can add the set shade smooth node to make your surface smooth. And this is how you can play around with the map range node. As you can see, as I'm changing the value of two parameters, the shape of the cylinder is also changing. Now let's say if you want to have random radius for the cylinder, then how can we achieve it? Basically, I'll add two more multiplication nodes, one for scaled x and the other for scaled y, like this. And then I will include a noise texture. And its factor output will be connected to the multiplication nodes. So you can see now we have random radius or an uneven surface. And you can play around with these input values, scale, detail, roughness as per your requirement. And let's say if you want to animate this cylinder, you can add a scene time node and play the animation. So the advantage of this method is that it's non-destructive and it is fully adjustable.